This is SSPTV News, brought to you by Samsung Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Getting ready for November, political analyst Charles McElwee previews the presidential election in our area. Welcome everyone, and thank you for spending some time with the SSPTV family. I'm Ken Karen. Here's your local information from SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker. Two men led police on a chase through Frackville, St. Clair, Pottsville, and Schuylkill Haven on Wednesday night. According to state police, there was an armed robbery in Frackville around 7:30 p.m. that involved 19-year-old Damar Jordan Coad of Reading and 18-year-old John Luis Fidanki Martin of New York City. A report in the Standard Speaker says the two fled south on Route 61. They then led police on a foot chase when their vehicle became disabled near the intersection of Route 61 and 895. The search for them ended with their arrests at about 7:45 Thursday morning. We are getting closer and closer to this fall's election, and we're about to kick off a two-part preview of the presidential election. Here's our Janine Lassant.
Joining me now, Charles McElwee. He is part of our political team. We are so happy to have you a part of it because you are a wealth of information. Charlie, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, so let's get down to it. Let's talk about Luzerne County. Let's talk about this upcoming election, which they're all important, but this one with, you know, the pandemic going on and the way that people are now able to vote has changed, making history.
Right. What a bewildering year to have an election. This is somewhat chaotic at this point. And we're kind of seeing a repeat of 2016, but even more so in the sense of reporters, media flocking to Luzerne County once again to get a pulse of where the election could be headed. Because it seems that, like 2016, Pennsylvania's 20 electoral college votes will determine the victor in this race. Interestingly enough, in 2016, Luzerne County provided 60% of Trump's winning margin statewide. Trump would not have won Pennsylvania without Luzerne County, and you can make the argument that had he not won Luzerne County, he may not have won the election. So this is the place to cover. Earlier this year, obviously the coverage was focused on COVID-19, and at one point, Luzerne County became a hotspot. It received national coverage for its high COVID rate. But now we're transitioning to understanding Luzerne County in terms of its realignment. People suspect that Biden, as a native in northeastern Pennsylvania, could bring some more voters into his fold in Luzerne. He's a son of Scranton. He's nearby. The argument is he's culturally connected to the region, but it doesn't seem it will work in Luzerne. I mean, I just think of driving around the valley or the Hazleton area, and it looks like the fall of 2016 again. It's anecdotal, but you're seeing all the signs for Trump, not as many for Biden. Will there be older, silent generation, older baby boomer Catholic Democrats who may vote for Biden because of that cultural allegiance? Of course, but I don't think it will be enough to overcome the enthusiasm for Trump in Luzerne County. So in many ways, we're just looking at 2016 again, and Luzerne could play the crucial role on election night and in the weeks ahead. More likely than not, we won't have an answer on the evening of November 3rd.
That was going to be my next question. With the way that we are able to vote, do you think there are going to be discrepancies?
I think it will be chaotic. It's going to be a big fight. And I think what everybody's concerned about is this political apocalyptic scenario where Pennsylvania is to 2020 what Florida was to the election in 2000, where it's a waiting game and both parties are fighting it out over mail-in ballots and everything else. It's a complex issue, and it's still unresolved. But yes.
The debate over unemployment, jobs, obviously that debate, when President Trump was first elected, there was a low unemployment rate. Now the debate can be that, COVID caused the unemployment rate to decline. The opposition says otherwise.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think COVID will definitely play the big role in this election. I think many people know who they're voting for at this point. And for many voters, it will be a referendum on Trump's response to the coronavirus, which does present a challenge. That would present a challenge for any president. It's a cataclysmic period. So I think where this election is coming to is, are voters going to punish Trump over his response to the coronavirus? If he loses, will the coroner's report be his handling of COVID? Or if Biden loses, will it be because voters had a visceral reaction to the urban unrest and the Democrats' tepid response to that unrest since the summer? And those are the two factors in play, and it will be interesting to see how they factor in the weeks ahead.
As always, we just encourage everyone to get out there and exercise their right to vote.
Time now for weather on SSPTV News.
If you don't already have them out, grab your hoodies. It's going to be a cold weekend at night. Here's our forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, a 20% chance of showers between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., mostly cloudy with a low of 52 degrees. Friday, a 20% chance of showers between 7 a.m. and noon, partly sunny with a high of 62. Then a hazardous weather outlook, as this weekend will feature consecutive cold nights with potential for frost that could damage or kill seasonal plants. Friday night, mostly clear with a low of 38 degrees, wind gusts as high as 21 miles per hour. Saturday is sunny with a high of 59. Saturday night mostly clear with a low of 37. Sunday sunny with a high of 60. Sunday night clear with a low of 38 degrees. Monday is sunny with a high of 61, and Monday night mostly clear with a low of 40 degrees. Let's start a very busy SSPTV standard speaker scoreboard with some girls volleyball. The Big HA beat Wilkes-Barre area in 4 sets. Brooke Boretsky had 16 service points, including 8 aces for Hazelton. Marion topped Monoy area. Olivia Karchner had 13 kills for the Phillies. Haley Sosna had 8 aces for Shenandoah Valley in their win over Weatherly. Lee Heighton swept by Tamaqua. To the pitch now, where Hazelton area beat Pittston area in girls soccer. Kayla Demshock had 2 goals for the Lady Cougars. The Tamaqua girls scored 6 on North Schuylkill. Sophia Boyle had 2 goals and 3 assists, which is actually, I think, my entire career soccer stats playing from the age of 5 to 18. So yeah, that's impressive. The Tamaqua boys and North Schuylkill boys lost in soccer. In girls tennis, Hazelton area beat Wyoming area and Pottsville beat Tamaqua. Finally, some golf. MMI took down Wyoming area. Christian Homnak hit a 39 for the Preppers. Mono area was led by Luke Matta with an 89 in their 18-hole victory over Weatherly in a big Schuylkill League Division II showdown. I had so much fun putting together this week's in-depth sports feature, plus the story is really inspiring, so check that out in just a little bit. And my description for today's SSPTV Spotlight says how cool lifting can help your skin. It comes from our show Body Beautiful, and I can't wait to find out what cool lifting is along with all of you, so let's all stay tuned.
SSPTV News would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Samuel N. Coolbaugh, age 8, of Sugarloaf Township. A memorial service will be held on Saturday at 2 p.m. at Faith Assembly of God Church. Friends may call Saturday from 12:30 until 2 p.m. at the church. The Butler Chapel of the Crofton Hughes Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. John M. Reclitus, age 90, of Penn Hills, formerly of Hazelton. Services were held today under the Sockman Funeral Home in Penn Hills. And Joseph Tabino, Sr., age 96, of Newcastle, Delaware, formerly of Hazelton. Services were previously held. Today's social and obituary report is brought to you by Harmon Funeral Homes and Crematory. Call 570-788-0977 or go to harmonfuneral.com.